All right, so welcome, and good morning to the Aussies, good afternoon or good evening to all those tuning in from around the world. I want to welcome you to our fourth webinar in our biohacking series, where we are interviewing doctors, athletes, and business entrepreneurs on why they are passionate about Nerf 1 and Nerf 2 activation. So today I have the absolute honor of interviewing an amazing driven woman who I'm going to give you a rundown on her. She's an elite marathon runner, a world-class triathlete, USA TF coach, yoga instructor, businesswoman, and lifestyle entrepreneur. So formerly, she was a medical device and pharmaceutical sales representative, and then she found her niche in the biohacking realm and is passionate about teaching others how to optimize their bodies from the inside out. So welcome, Jessica. We're so grateful that you're taking time out of your busy schedule at a conference to be with us. Are you there?
It is so awesome to be here. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, all of you, for not only putting this together, but having me on here. And those of you tuning in, sharing this, or listening to the recording. It's such a blessing what we've come across. So it's a privilege to share my story and what we can do to help you.
Awesome. Thank you. So we're just going to dive right into it for time's sake. So can you please briefly share your story and how you learned about biohacking your body?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been an athlete all my life, and post-athletics, I got into pharmaceutical sales after college and thought, my dream was to help people, but I've always wanted to go to the Olympics. And so started training after college. I was a varsity track and cross country runner, got into the marathon, and just followed that path. And as an athlete, those of you tuning on that are athletes or have athletes in your family or near you or close to you, you know that a lot of people incur injuries. And as a marathon runner, there's something called oxidative stress. It's when you inhale and you exhale, and running 26.2 miles, you're breathing in a lot of oxygen. And so for me, I was training for the Olympics in 2010 and 11 on Team USA, and then for the 2012 Olympics in London. And I ended up running the Boston Marathon, fractured my foot at mile 14 in the marathon, and I continued the marathon and finished on a broken foot. But I'll tell you, the adrenaline left my body as soon as I crossed the finish line, and the pain rushed in. And I just remember that day. It was like that pivotal moment when I said, oh my goodness, if my career relies on my body and my body keeps shutting down, I have to figure out a way to prevent this from happening again and to stop this from happening. And so that was kind of the wake-up call. And a friend of mine said, he was a fellow athlete, said, Jess, have you heard of biohacking? And I said, that does not sound like a good term. What is this? And he introduced me to Nerf 2 and NRF2 and this new technology that's all natural. And I was looking for something that was healthy, that was all natural, that wasn't from the drug industry. And started down that path. And within half the time I recovered from injury, rebounded to run some of my fastest times, and have been biohacking for the last 7 years and have been injury free ever since. So just what it does for your body is incredible in terms of getting you back to a healthy state and enabling you to move forward in life.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I love hearing how this information reaches people and how it comes into their life. So you mentioned oxidative stress. Can you share with us? Some people on here might know what it is. Some people might not. Can you just share with us what is oxidative stress and why do we want to lower it in our bodies?
Right. Oxidative stress is linked to every disease and illness. Every time we breathe in oxygen, we incur oxidative stress. So ironically, the thing that keeps us alive is also the thing that's killing us. And so if you're exposed to pollutants, if you're an athlete training at a high level, oxidative stress is linked to aging. And so nobody wants to speed up aging. Everyone wants to slow it down, right? So oxidative stress is literally like the rusting of a nail, rusting from the inside out. So as an athlete, I wanted to reduce my inflammation in my body. When you're producing high levels of inflammation in your body as an athlete, you want to do everything that you can to recover faster, perform better, and to lower those inflammatory markers. So when I heard about something that reduced it by 40%, I was all in.
Yeah, that's right. Aren't we all? Eh? So athletes, do they have increased levels of oxidative stress? And if so, how does that show up in their bodies? What can the effects from that be?
Right, like anything, you have both ends of the spectrum, and specifically for athletes, high levels of oxidative stress. If you're a gymnast, if you're a soccer player, if you're a marathon runner, a triathlete, whatever sport you're in, when you're exerting your body, you're getting high levels of inflammation going on in your body. On the other end of the spectrum, oxidative stress is linked to every disease, illness, and injury. So myself as an athlete, incurring injury is directly connected to inflammation, which is oxidative stress.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for that information. So oxidative stress is obviously something that we absolutely want to lower in our bodies. And you've mentioned NERV2 activation. So how can we protect our bodies through NERV2 activation?
Great question. And this is probably my favorite way. It's the basis to biohacking. Using NERV2 technology is proven to reduce inflammation by 40% in 30 days. So, when you're an athlete, if you can recover almost half the time and run more efficiently and have less recovery time, it's a game changer. So as a marathon runner and a triathlete, I used to finish the marathon and like put ice packs on and be in achy pain and have, chronic little injuries flare up all the time. And I started using NERV2 and biohacking. And what it does is it brings your body back into balance. Whenever our body gets out of balance, whether you're an athlete and you're producing high levels of oxidative stress, or whether you're just an individual that has a sickness, illness, or disease, your body's getting out of balance. So what it does is works to bring your body back into homeostasis, which is balance. And then from there, the sky's the limit to what you can do to biohack your health.
Amazing. I loved what you said about recovery. You can recover in half the amount of time. And I've noticed that myself. I've always been an active person my whole life. And when I started on NERV2 activation, oh my goodness, the difference was amazing. So
Right.
I want to ask now about glutathione. Once again, someone here, especially athletes, might have heard this term before. It's a master antioxidant in our body. Can you explain where glutathione fits into everything that you're speaking about and why it's important to have increased levels of glutathione in our bodies?
Yeah, glutathione is a key powerful antioxidant, and when you start using NRF2, you produce over 300% more glutathione in your body, which helps to get rid of toxic waste. It helps to rebuild and repair your cells. It helps you to become more energized, recover faster, perform better, more focused. Glutathione is key to, every single cell we have in our body. So producing high levels of that is the best thing that you can do. A lot of people supplement it, but if you can activate it within your body and produce what you need. I won't get too deep into the scientific terms, but just in layman's terms, just helping your body get rid of what's not good for it, bring up the good levels and bring down the bad levels, flush out what's not good, and continue to repair and enhance what's working well.
Awesome. Activation is just so powerful. So, what about the person, I've come across this, what about the person who is really proactive in their health? And, a lot of athletes obviously are. And so they're eating organic whole foods. They're aware of the products that they put on their body to be, not toxic, and the ones that they are surrounding in their homes. What about that person? Do they still need to activate their nervous system?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Before I got injured, it's kind of why I was introduced to NRF2 6 months prior to my injury. And I kind of just shoo-shooed it away. I didn't research anything because I felt fine. I was healthy. I wasn't injured. I was competing well. I was winning races and I was doing great. I thought I was healthy enough and I thought I'd be fine. Unfortunately, we're going to age no matter what. Every single person who breathes oxygen is going to age. We're going to incur, injuries, illnesses, something down the line. Unfortunately, oxidative stress is part of our lives. So you can eat as healthy as possible. You can, pretty much live in a box if you wanted to and have no exterior pollutants surrounding you. But at the end of the day, you're still breathing oxygen and your body is still producing and trying to recover and grow and heal. So, no matter who you are, biohacking is just key for everyday life. And why I love these products is because number one, they're all natural because your body is repairing and healing while you sleep. And then all throughout the day when you're exposed to different things, no matter what. Unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world, and neither are our bodies perfect. So biohacking is the first step to keep your body oscillating in a very good state of homeostasis, which is balance. So, imagine if your body was always in balance, how much better you could feel.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. Every single person in this world needs to be NRF2 activated. Such important information. So we've spoken a lot about NRF2 activation, and we actually have multiple pathways in our body, and one of them is the NRF1 pathway. Now, can you explain briefly what NRF1 activation is? And also, I know you started, you were activating your body through the NRF2 pathway for probably years before NRF1 came into the picture. So can you share your experience of when you added NRF1 into your daily routine?
Yeah, great question. So I've been taking NRF2 since 2011 and experienced, faster recovery, better focus, better, deeper sleep, and just a lot of things that I love about NRF2. As soon as NRF1 came into the picture, so NRF2 is proven to reduce oxidative stress, to reduce inflammation by 40% in 30 days. Now, NRF1 came out as a sister product. So really it's like the 1-2 punch, and you're getting the best for your body. So as you're reducing inflammation, as your body's starting to get back into balance, NRF1, you add NRF1 into your regimen, and it's helping your body to produce more energy in your cells. Doctors found in research studies back in the 1920s found that literally the lack of ATP energy production, ATP in your cells, the lack of energy production in your cells leads to cancer. So if you could rev up the energy within your cells, you could ward off the effects of those things. Now, we can't say we cure, prevent, or treat anything because we're all natural. So I just want to preface that. But as soon as NRF1 came out, how I started taking it, I noticed huge improvements in my energy. I would pop out of bed in the morning. My focus was better. I have more energy in workouts. So what my recommendation is for athletes is I take a NRF2 in the morning, because all day your body is affected by free radical damage, oxidative stress. So you want to ward that off all day. And then at night, I take the NRF1, because when you're sleeping, your body's healing and recovering when you're in a resting state. So especially as an athlete, if you have to pop out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to a workout, take it at night. You wake up in the morning, your body's repairing and healing. So you're feeling refreshed and energized when you wake up.
That's amazing. That's how I take mine as well. Oh my goodness,
Awesome.
this information is amazing. Thank you. So one last question. Especially, okay, so we'll start with the athletes on the call. For any athletes that are on the call, can you share why they should be NRF1?
Yeah, well, if you're an athlete, what is the number one thing you want? And I apologize, there are planes going overhead. The number one thing you want as an athlete is to perform at your best. We all day, we're just looking for the littlest thing. I know as a triathlete, it was all about fitting the bike right, or getting a sleeker pair of goggles, or a more aerodynamic helmet. It's the littlest things to perform at your best. So if you could not only reduce the inflammation and recover in half the time, be able to come back from injury. I know for me, as soon as I started taking NRF2, I started training and competing, and I started doing back-to-back races and recovering so fast. I was like, man, I feel like Superwoman. And I was like, I hope this is legal, and good thing it is. But it's amazing because of the fact that, for athletes, you want to continue to heal your body and be repairing and continue to keep your body in a state of balance, because we do a lot of damage to our body, especially those of you who are competing at the elite professional level. But as an everyday person, Bill Bowerman, who's the founder of Nike, says, if you have a body, you're an athlete, so treat it as such. You don't have to be a professional athlete to, perform better, whether it's just, a single mom helping with tasks at home, or somebody just trying to focus on the computer. I have an engineer who, instead of it taking hours, like 8 hours, he's cut it down in half. What it would take him 8 hours now takes him 4, because he's focused, he's clear, he's energized, and he's alert. So it's for everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. That you answered my last question, which was to explain why everybody should take it. So that was perfect. Thank you so much, Jessica. That information was absolutely invaluable, and we're so grateful for your time. And I'm just going to stop the recording. Everybody hang in there for 1 second.